Rob and Kelsey, things are changing pretty rapidly out here. Just watching the cleanup continue. A lot of debris being picked up off the decking of I-55. We've seen mangled up vehicles and remnants of leftover trucks being hauled off by tow trucks. I'm going to step out of the frame here so you can see what's happening right now. It looks like a crane and a tow crew is lowering chains off the side of I-55 now. My view is obstructed here by some of this brush, this marsh brush here by Lake Maurepas, but you can see these chains are going off the side. I'm assuming they're picking up a car, the car that might have went over the railing yesterday during this crash. But we're seeing tractors and backhoes and other crew members still picking up debris from that decking, putting it in dump trucks to be hauled away. This as charred, mangled shells of vehicles are still on I-55 that is still closed this morning. And Rob, as you mentioned earlier, Acadian Ambulance announced this morning that they responded yesterday with 18 ambulances and 4 supervisor vehicles, and they say that more than 40 people were brought to hospitals. And even still this morning, some of those supervisor vehicles are still on the scene, along with DOTD vehicles. We've seen state troopers in and out of the area. So a lot of first responders still on the scene here as crews work to quickly and safely clean up I-55. But again, I-55 north and south still closed to drivers. I spoke with a communications director for DOTD earlier this morning. He says there's still no timeline for when I-55 will reopen. It all kind of just depends on how fast they can get this all cleaned up and then inspected.
She called me and she said, we've been in a bad wreck, and it's just wreck everywhere. It's just wreck everywhere, and she was hysterical. But she did say we're both okay.
We did have one vehicle that went over the railing. That driver was able to get out of that vehicle, so that's a great situation. But we did have one that went over the railing.
Okay. And that is probably what we are witnessing this morning with this tow truck and crane working with these chains off the side of I-55 to retrieve the vehicle that went over the railing yesterday morning. Now, once I-55 is cleared and clean, DOTD says inspection crews will look for cracks in the bridge. They'll check the decking, the rails, and the piers. They want to make sure the road is safe before it reopens. But again, I-55 is still closed this morning. Crews are still working, and drivers are asked to take alternate routes today. This is U.S. Highway 51. Traffic is flowing smoothly, but of course, be careful out there on the roadways. Definitely a scary situation. Let's toss it over to Andres Fuentes with more.
Oh, there you go. Olivia, you guys were referencing the crane and the change. This is exactly on the other end of what you guys were looking at. As you can see, we're getting this car out of the water inch by inch. They just hooked it up by its frame, and now we are patiently awaiting for it to actually get on up and get in the air. As you can see, it's slowly moving. This car was the only car that fell off the I-55 in yesterday's pileup. So fortunate that the driver in this instance, according to officials, made it out okay. We're going to stick to this live shot real quick as we try to get this truck to get actually out of the water. But these crews have been out here all